So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Venus in the 8th house of your D10 Dashamsha chart. As in, what happens when Venus is in the 8th house of your Dashamsha chart, which, as you know, is one of the most important charts in Vedic astrology, which represents obligation to society, which represents the career, which represents your work into the world. And as always, if you do not know if you have this particular position, what sign it's in, what's its position in the birth chart, all the astrological details. For that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, consultations, and the link to my academy, Vedic Astrology Academy, where you'll also be able to download my new book, Nakshatras at the Speed of Light, which, thank you so much for making it a great success. So, Venus in the 8th house. So one of the things we see with Venus in the 8th house is that this is a particular position that will always rise a person after their fall. So if, let's say, in the chart it shows that, okay, a person is supposed to have a fall in their life, they need to have a fall in their career, due to some past life karma. Well, this Venus ensures that no matter how many times you fall, you rise back up, but you rise back up better than before. So what it does, it's kind of like brings a complete transformation in your career for the better. So regardless, let's say you're a lawyer, you have a downfall, you lost your job, you're no longer getting any cases, then what do? And let's say you were a criminal attorney. Then suddenly what happens is, because of this placement of Venus in the 8th house, suddenly this online, internet scenario emerges. Like online, dealing with intellectual property, online people's content. And suddenly, next thing you know, you find a rejuvenation in your career because everybody's contacting you about their issue. And you're like, let's say, the cheapest attorney to talk to, a friendly attorney to talk to. So you stayed an attorney, but what happened is, from a criminal lawyer to complete dramatic turn toward intellectual property. Or one can go into, let's say, sports lawyer, because your neighbor is an athlete and they started talking to you. Next thing you know, their lawyer gets fired or walks away from the agency and they recommend you. These are the things that happen. But whenever the changes happens, that change will definitely be much, much different than what the original work was. You may even change your appearance and bring this transformation. And then Venus in the 8th house does bring in scandals at work, regardless of if you're male or female. It can bring some scandals at work with a female. Maybe a female doesn't like you, complains about you. Now you get written up or you get fired. And then this whole scandal kind of occurs. Or whatever the scandal is happens, in a person's life. And one of the other things you will also see with Venus in the 8th house is that whenever, and this is more for men, who have wife, whenever wife falls sick, there's always a transformation that occurs at work. And now I'm not talking about that transformation that changes everything. No, something changes at work. For example, wife has a cold and you're working in a project in your work. What happens is suddenly that project gets canceled, delayed, or now suddenly when you weren't supposed to travel, now you travel for work. That's the transformation I'm talking about. It's nothing to do with good or bad. It's just a change occurs. Maybe suddenly your manager gets changed. And if you kind of like keep a log, every time wife had a fever, wife got sick, you will see these major changes wouldn't occur within a few days. A week and 2 weeks is too much to rely on this particular technique. It'll happen in few days. And Venus represents our passion, Venus represents our love, you know. And usually you will see that these people keep their passion, their interest, and love for certain things in their career hidden. They somehow find it difficult in the first half of life to express those things. Like, you know what? This is what I really want to do. This is what I love doing. Whatever their passion is, stay secret. Like, for example, somebody could be a professor or IT professional, an engineer. And what happens is when you go to their home one day, you see that they make some of the most beautiful paintings. And yet they never spoke about it. They never talked about it. It's that they just kept it hidden. These are the things you discover about this individual with the Venus in the 8th house. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Venus in the 8th house for the Dashamsha chart. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss these type of videos. And if you want to know where your Venus is placed, all your astrological details, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.